This presentation is made possible by these amazing individuals and organizations. Whether it was through Patreon, Super Chats, Super Stickers, or by watching, liking, and commenting, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Hello, welcome everyone to the show. I am Retro Nerd Girl, and I am broadcasting live from the International Science Fiction Space Station. And welcome all, welcome all. Today we are going to be talking about AI, robots, and cyborgs in cinema. And this is the second part to our discussion that we had last week. Last week, basically, it was a free-for-all. We kind of just threw out different titles, and we talked about, just various different titles that were on a list that I put together. And you guys gave me a lot of suggestions, and I added them to the list. So what's now is that, guess what? I made a slideshow, and this slideshow is so much fun to look at, to see the actual references to all of the things that we talked about. And if there's any extras, we will definitely add them in. If there is some, I was even coming up with some last minute this morning. I was like, remember that movie that you saw back in the day? And some of them I forgot the names of them, so I had to like remember the actors and like what other movies they were in and try to find out what movies they were from that process. So it was very interesting. But before we get into it, I just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time that we are going through the time period of 1918. That's the earliest one I was able to find. Earliest movie with a robot in it that I was able to find. And also, we're gonna go through up until 2001. I was surprised that the list was so small for that amount, but it's over 100 titles there. So we'll see how that works out. But before I get into it, I am going to check the comments to see how you guys are doing. And the chat seems to be going crazy in a good way so far. Let's see what you guys are saying. First one up is William Blake Hall. Says, may as well be the first to say hi, Retro, and hi, everyone. Yes, so good to see you. My goodness, let's see. Let me see. The next one here, for some reason, it jumped on me. William Blake Hall says, so there's going to be a third chapter to this. I forget how far we got the last time. Yeah, last time we were just doing the free-for-all, and now we're getting to be more succinct. And I think I'm going to run through half the titles today, and then half the titles next week, and we should be done with everything by then. And Keith E says is here, and he's in the chat and says, hello, William, good to see you here, waiting for a flight update from Retro. And let's see. Keith E says almost 90 today in North Dakota. Oh, it's 91 right now. 91 degrees and freezing in the winter. It must be an interesting place to live. It very well is. You don't know what you're going to get when you walk outside. So Yeah, just another day in paradise. William Blake Hall says, "Hey, Keith, Pittsburgh actually looks good today." Great. Oh my God, that's wonderful. You guys make me want to visit Pittsburgh. um, and see, I'm gonna like zoom down just a little bit. Um, and William Blake Hall says, last night I saw four young, smart reactors all watch 2001. It was nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. Um, and Unicorn Rampant Studio is here. Oh, wow. Says, hello, all great, beautiful afternoon in Pittsburgh. Oh my God, you guys sound like you're in such a nice place. And William says he agrees. And let's see. Uh, uh, Woman says she does know that incoming often refers to a missile, right? Sometimes, yes, but also incoming. I'm incoming onto the ship, so I have to at least let everybody know that I'm on my way. Keith E says I interviewed to be a general manager of the Market Square Sheraton, I believe. I did not get the job. Oh, no. Oh, really? Oh, well, I wait, um, well, let's be hopeful. I'm gonna cross my fingers and say you did. Let's let's see, maybe. Um, and William Blake also says, anyone recall how far we got? Did we make it to the century? No, we were just calling out random names and different um we weren't really keeping track of dates, except for dates that I could find things. We weren't actually like going chronologically yet, but now we are. Now we're going chronological. Keith E says, I think we got through to the 80s, but we're working a bit on the 90s. But I think she only wanted to go up to like 96 or 97, but she'll be reading that soon enough. Yes. Well, you guys will see what I've got going on. And William Blake calls us. Um, oh, did I? Oh, yes, we can't forget. Brogu is here and says, hello, everyone. I almost skipped over. I'm so sorry, Brogu. Uh, let's see. And William Blake calls us, seeing a big galaxy fill the sky worries me. I think it makes me think, where am I? And let's see. Botanical Brother is here. Hello, Botanical Brothers. He says, Queen RNG is in the house. Yes. And William Blake Hall says, all hailing frequencies open retro. The ISFSS is looking fine. And let's see. William says, we could always be at the bag of marbles at the very end of Men in Black. True that, true that. um, oh yes, okay. Keith E says, if you can read this, I can hear you. Oh, this is awesome. Good. I would hate it if I was mute the whole time. And Jack is here. Hello, Jack. Says hello from Texas. Thou shalt not make a machine in the image of the human mind. Ooh, which movie? What book is that from? Is that from a book or sounds like it's from a book? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, it's referencing June. Yes, I no wonder I know it. Yes, June. Thank you. Thank you, William Blake Hall. Yes. William Blake calls this the Butlerian yeehaw, as I think of it. And Botanical Brother says Canine, the robot dog from Doctor Who. Um, uh, well, that would be a TV show, right? We're just doing movies. and we're just doing movies right now. Sorry about that. Um, um, and Rogu says, hit the likes button if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much, Rogu. Yes, if you guys, if you, as you're watching, if you are enjoying this, do hit that like button for me. Um, and William Blake says the year 2001, not just the 1968 movie of that name. And Unicorn says, also, hi, RNG. Hello, Unicorn Rampant Studio. Um, and says, it's a sweet town, really, Pittsburgh. Oh, really? I really want to visit. um, and Keith E says, my interview in Pittsburgh was 35 years ago, so I think they've moved on. Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. I had it was for some reason it felt like you were saying it had happened right now, or today or something. Sorry about that. William Blake also says, yeah, we're a sports capital. Steelers, Penguins, Pirates were great ones when I was a kid. Oh, yeah, let's see. William Blake also says, I ran a bookstore for a whopping week out of Ross Park Mall. Interesting. And Jack says, Kirk, what about Corby? He programmed me, but I can't harm him. Kirk, the old ones programmed you and you destroyed them. Rook, Rooks, that's that was the equation. Uh, that was the equation. Existence, survival, cancels programming. Is this from the TV show? I don't know. Where's this from? This sounds like it's a Star Trek episode. Well, William Blake Hall says Ted Cassidy performance was astounding. Um, and DJ Hellhammer says, hello, RNG. Hello, chat. Salute. Oh, yes, salute. Definitely. Hope you're doing well today. Um, and Unicorn Ramsuit says, manage Pittsburgh area half price books inventory management from 2001 to 2014. Oh, really? That is really cool. You guys have a lot in common, you and William Blake Hall. Just putting it out, uh, just putting it all together. Yes, I think William's putting it together too. Well, guys, since we're done with that portion of the greetings, I am gonna get started with this to jump right into it. AI, robots, and cyborgs in cinema, part one. And while I'm at it, let's get a nice little banner down at the bottom to let any newcomers know what we're talking about. So let's do this. All right, so the first one up, this is really great. This is really great. I need to see this movie. 1918, Master of Mystery. The automation was the robot here, and that looks like it would be pretty cool to watch. And it doesn't look like it'll be very long either. So that was cute. We got 1921, the Mechanical Man. Uh, very, very interesting and looks exciting. Of course, we all know about this one, 1927 Metropolis. We have Maria the Machine, also known as Futura. We have 1934 Master of the World. Also is known under its German title. Very, very fascinating. I really want to see this one as well. Have not seen it. This is, what I love about these projects that we do and these sort of like nerdy explorations, um, I get to learn about new movies I've never heard of, so this is great. Absolutely. And, let's see, this one is 1939, The Phantom Creeps, uh, with Bela Lugosi, guys. That looks really cool. All right, and this one was another one that I was so really surprised to find. I had a little trouble finding it too. It's called The Perfect Woman, 1949, and a scientist makes a robot uh, called Olga the robot, and it's very interesting. Of course, one of my favorite movies, 1951, The Day the Earth Stood Still. We have the iconic Gort. Uh, let's see, um, 1953, Robot Monster Roman. That one I heard this movie is really a B movie. It's notorious for being terrible, but, still would be interested in watching it at least once, uh, to say I have the experience. And, William Blake Hall says, "Never heard of the 1934 German Master of the World." Good to know, right? I do love a lot of these titles that I've never heard of before, so, this is great. And Botanical Brother says V'ger from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, but it's on the list definitely. It's gonna be, a little while. Yeah, we're going from earliest to latest. And, let's see, and William Blake Hall says, "You have to love the robot monster outfit." Yeah, it's it's a hot mess, but it's like an ape costume and it's just too much. And Jack says, "What about the robot from Metropolis still holds up?" I think she does. She's really iconic. Just an iconic character. Then we have, this one is 1954 Gog. I've never seen this movie, to be honest, and I am one day looking forward to it. It's on my list of must-see movies. 1954 Devil Girl from Mars, and, it's just a giant weird looking robot. Oh, Chani the robot, but it's like the weirdest robot ever. And I did do a review of this movie, um, and that was a lot of fun. I did enjoy this movie. It's a very low budget movie, much like a play almost. So I don't think they had a whole lot of money to make a sophisticated robot. I think they just really wanted something that was going to be striking. And then we have 1954, Tobar the Great, and another oh, unattractive looking robot that's, causing, a little bit of havoc and mayhem. Let's see what you guys are saying. William Blake Hall says, imagery for of the Metropolis robot got exploited in The Bodyguard, starring, Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. Oh, you think so? I love the costuming in that movie. I wish they would have gone further too. And Brogu says these older AI robots in Cyborg's movie posters look better than anything we have now. Robot Monster looks great, and I'm in. And William Bacall says I prefer Chani as Paul's love interest in Dune. Really? Oh, yes, Chani, that Chani. And William Blake also says, "Hey, are we remembering Gog?" Yeah, I never saw, Gog at, if you did, let me know what it's what if it's any good. Should I, put that on my must-see? Um, and Jack says, "I can't believe Fritz Lang made his leading lady wear a costume for the shoot as if anybody would know." Uh, uh, oh, I see what you mean. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, he could have just put a stun person in there, but yeah, I think it was more for. I think back then they didn't know that they didn't have to put those actors through, so much trouble. And Simply Steve 68 is here and says instead of buckets of blood, it's bucket of bolts today. Yes, it is. Yes, if you can say that. And look, it's Hungry Jerk. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. And Botanical Brother says Tabor was a toy sold in the 80s. Tabor is a robot spelled in reverse. Oh, okay. Is robot spelled in reverse? Yes, yes, yes. Uh, Great catch. Because once you see it, you see it. William Blake goes, "We gotta see GOG 1950." Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you for letting me know for sure. It's on my list, and I wasn't sure if I hadn't heard anything, but I'd always see stuff. And Keith E says, is saying hi to Tom. Uh, and filling him in that the topic is artificial intelligence in movies. All right. Now let me continue on. Um, 1956, of course, we have the incredible Robbie the Robot for the Forbidden Planet. What an incredible robot there. And 1957, Kronos. Which is this is one that I also wanted to see, as well. I haven't seen this one, so I think it's very important for me to see. It looks like it's gonna be really wild. If anybody has seen Kronos, let me know. Um, and Colossus of New York, this is another one I wanna see as well. 1957. This one is Colossus of New York. So, there's, quite a few Colossus movies, but this one is, the Colossus of New York. Um, and he's a robot with, that, looks like he's gone amok in New York City. Then we've got, 1957, The Invisible Boy. Robbie the Robot shows up again. But it doesn't look like he's a good guy in this one, so well, I've never seen this movie, so you'll have to tell me if it's any good. Let me see. Wow, the chat is on fire. Phantom Outsider is here. It says, "Hail, chat." There was also the Japanese anime Tobar, the Eighth Man in the 60s. Oh, wow. And William Blake Hall says Kronos is weird. It has animated legs. Oh, really? I need to see this. And Nigel Donaldson is here. Says, "How are you?" It says, "Westworld as pictured, another highly underappreciated sci-fi film that is the reason both Terminator and RoboCop are so awesome." Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. And we're gonna get to that. Right now we're doing everything uh, by chronologically. So we're gonna get to Westworld soon. Yes, definitely. Great information about Westworld there. Um, and Hungry Jerk says Robbie got sold for 2.5 million. I s- I suppose dollars for this for the prop. Wow. And let's see, Botanical Brother, Forbidden Planet, a great movie. When will the remake when will a remake be made? I hope never. I hope never. The concepts and ideas in that film is just so wonderful and perfect. I just can't see it being redone. Just would be a slap in the face, I think, to, that filmmaker. For it would be a slap in the face to that movie. And Aline Blake calls us, I hope I never in any case, Star Trek was sort of Forbidden Planet, the series. Yes, it was there was a lot of, shared, ideas could easily fit in the same universe. And Simply Steve 68 says, Robbie is angry, livid, perturb perturbat? I'm not sure what that word is. Um, I am not sure what the word is. Let me know what that word is. Uh, um, Phantom outside. Oh, what it I've never heard it used before, but tell me what it means. Um, and Phantom outside, Robbie the robot was was a pretty mercenary who would do anything for a paycheck. Oh yeah, yeah, he was in so many movies and so many different projects. He would just show up all of a sudden. There's Robbie the robot. And Jack says the poster art for these films are often drawn before the script is even written. That's really great because then you get, imagine so many people were inspired uh, by them. And Hungry Jerk says that a short-lived Westworld TV show in the 70s. Oh yeah, I heard about that show. I didn't see it though. And about that remake of Phantom Outsider says, "Hopefully not until the current garbage that pervades Hollywood passes." And, let's see, um, and, Casey is agreeing with, Phantom Outsider. William says, "I remember that hungry, some guy named, Simon Squad was the human responsible for all the robot mayhem." It was this in a movie? So I'm so confused now. Oh, you mean, was the person who started, in Hollywood, all of the, robot movies? Um, and, uh, Gary mentions, Future World, 1976. Now, you're mentioning that, and I actually don't think it's on my list. So I'm gonna have to add it later. So let me just put it in there. Because I have Westworld, but I don't think I have Future World. Um, and William Blake also says Simon Squad, the villain in the deservedly short um, TV show Beyond Westworld. Oh, okay, perturbed. Okay, no, yes, now I know what it is. Okay, thank you. I wasn't I wasn't sure that perturbed. Okay, yeah. I've heard that word before. Sorry about that. I what was I reading? That was weird. It looked like a different word. Thank you for clearing that up for me, Simply Steve. Thank you. Kingdom of Nerds is here. Hello. Hello. Good to see you. And Rose says, Robbie the robot put that kid down for heaven's sake. Right? He's got him right by the waist, squeezing the heck out of him. And Jack says, Westworld was really good for its low budget, wasn't it? It was really good. Um, Yul Brynner carried the film and he wore exactly the same outfit he wore in Magnificent Seven. Okay, well, we're getting to we're not quite there yet, but because we're gonna start talking about Yul Brynner, but we're still in the 50s. We're not ready yet. It's coming. It's coming. But, the way he smiled when he killed for the first time. Ooh. Um, all right, so let's keep going. I wanna get, to, the things we're not gonna make it, if we don't get it, keep going. So, 1962, the creation of the humanoids. They look really freaky. I've never seen this, and I would really love to. Uh, if anybody has seen this movie, let me know. Of course, many of us are well acquainted with the 1963 Jason and the Argonauts, the Talos. Now, whether or not we were trying to figure out whether he was really fit the bill here, um, but I said, as an honorary mention, why not? um, and these guys are really freaky. Oh my gosh. 1964, the time travelers, they encountered these robots. Ooh, really spooky looking. Give you nightmares, right? I can't imagine you would watch that and not get nightmares. And William Blake Hall says the creation of the humanoids is very talky and cheap, based on a stage play, I believe, but worth it. Cool ending. Okay, I'll just take a look at it. Yeah, it sounds like it might be pretty decent. And Simply Steve 68 says Harryhausen. Yes, for the Jason and the Argonauts. And Kingdom of Nerds says those classic Greek mythology movies, so good, aren't they? They're just such classic, and it's really just amazing. And Outcast Creative says, "Evening all." There you are. How are you? I hope you're hanging in there and doing well today. Um, and Nigel Donaldson says, there is also a 1977 Demon Seed. Okay, well, all of those movies I do believe are on my list, but I'm still in 1964. We're gonna get to to 1977. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. William Blake calls us time travelers. Hey, wait until you see the post-apocalyptic mutants. Okay. I can't wait. This is one movie I really wanna see. I have not seen it. I'd really love to take a gander at it and, see what they have cooking. Because this is like some freaky, um, visuals. I've never seen that before. Then we have, 1965, Alphaville. There's Alpha 60. I'm never heard of this movie before, and, I have to say I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. I wanna know what's going on here. Um, of course, we all know of 1968, 2001: A Space Odyssey, HAL 9000. What a creepy what a creepy villain, did we get in that movie. Um, so let's see. And, let's see. 1968, we've got Barbarella. Alpha is the ship's computer, which was quite entertaining. Um, and of course, I absolutely adore Barbarella. It's one of my favorite sci-fi B movies, and really love the whole aesthetic of it. Also have a review of it on my channel, of course. Of course I do. Of course I have a review of this on my channel. But I just remember seeing this as a kid and it blowing my mind. I'm like, "Oh my god, what am I looking at?" This is a really interesting one. 1965, Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine. These are, I suppose, the origin, or the first time that they really had fembots, like as fembots itself, kind of character. They kind of show up later on Austin Powers, but they were pretty intense, these ladies. Um, and of course, I just recently saw this movie, 1970, Colossus, the Forbin Project. Colossus and both Guardian being really incredible machines. It's a wonderful movie. I'm just saying that it's in the old, of course, look at, the style and the uh it's not like as far as the highest quality of film, the highest quality of everything, but it looks so it's such a great story. Story was great. One of the best things I've seen this year. So that I can't say enough about how um grateful I am to see this movie. It's like it's really wild. Let's see. Wow, you guys are really this is the first time you guys um my usually I can keep up a little bit, but this is pretty wild. Okay, let me see if I can try to get something here. Simply Steve says, um oh, okay. Let's see. I'm trying to get through. Here we go. Um, all four reactors last night uh, instantly agreed that instantly that Hal was creepy, manipulative, and a gaslighter. Yes, absolutely. Those are the exactly. This is exactly how you would explain Hal. He was a gaslighter. Very, very incredible, yes. And Grogu says, "The time traveler's robot just looked pervy to me." They look weird, but totally freaky. And, thank you guys for, uh, helping me out with, stuff. I know that it's really tough to keep the channel, um keep the language, oh, PG rated, but I appreciate everybody's trying so hard. I appreciate your efforts. Jack says, I like that Robbie the Robot manufactured 100 bottles of Kentucky bourbon. Yes, just the kind of thing you would need on a spaceship. He did, didn't he? Wow. I thought that was pretty incredible. I'm like, what else can you simulate? um, and Simply Steve says, the fun machine Barbo was in. LOL. And Nigel says, everyone should see the 1964 Time Machine. It's very important film, social commenting, science fiction, always, uh, always the best. Yes, absolutely. Um, I do believe um, I did do a review on that one. And it is one of the most profound movies, I would say, uh, of the 20th century. Is very highly profound. Just all of the commentary, I had to say, was just so incredible. One of my favorites. Uh, and William Blake Hall says the very first fembots. Yep, the title of Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine is the best feature. Yes, the title does make you want to laugh. Uh, oh yes, and Outcast Creative says the fembots were also in $6 Million Man. I think they did have a version of that was quite interesting, they did that also on the Bionic Woman as well. Um, just I used to love those shows for all of the weird characters that they would come up with. I just really loved it, and let's see. Outcast says, I love Colossus, such a good film. Not an action film, but so well written with a great intention and dialogue. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love the surprises too. There were so many surprises along the way. It just even the characters were. I felt like they did their best, you know. And so when characters are doing their very best and they're failing, like it makes you feel like you can identify with them, but only if they're doing their very best. I mean, not this like Um, yeah, and Jack says, "When I learned the reason Hal went crazy, it totally made it made total sense. He was programmed to provide accurate information, but was ordered to lie about the purpose of the mission." Yes, so he did not. It was yeah, it was kind of sad because he was uh, trying to do two things that were in total conflict with each other. So he malfunctioned. Simply Steve 68 says, "Oh, I thought that Colossus uh, TF was I don't know. Oh, the Colossus video game series. My bad. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what the initials are. Um, the Outcast creator says we had an old religious studies teacher who just sounded like Hal. Oh no, that's terrible. That must have been scary and spooky. And Nigel Donaldson says, in The Incredible Shrinking Man, them giants, both 50s, I believe. Um, The Incredible Shrinking Man. Um, was there AI in I don't remember um AI or and robots in those ones though. Let me know if there tell me what characters are in those ones, because I don't think there's any robots that or AI in those particular movies. Let me know if I totally I thought that there wasn't. I don't remember I don't remember them that well, but The Incredible Shrimp, I don't think there is one in there. Simply Steve 68 says, I thought George Pal's version of the time machine was released in 1960, not 64. You may be correct. You may be correct. And Nigel, you're probably correct. That sounds right. Nigel Johnson, I'm too far ahead, but again, obviously, Planet of the Apes. But Planet of the Apes didn't have a robot in it, though, right? Or AI. Um, uh, William Blake Hall says, "Steve, good catch. The time machine was 1960, in this continuum anyway." Yes, yes, yes. Okay, 1960, yes. Um, and we were close, right? We were close at 1964. um, William Blake Hall says, "Hi, Nigel, and welcome. Our focus today is on cybernetics." Yes, thank you for letting him know. Yes, it's on just cybernetics, AI, or um, movies with AI robots or cyborgs. We'll take cyborgs. We'll take cyborgs. we made a special place for cyborgs. The Iron Spider Kid 2099 says, "Have you seen the teacher in the Teacher Cyber movie?" Um, and there are a lot of those. I think there's at least 4 of them, that I can recall. Let's see, The Outcast Creative. Hey, Retro, this time next Saturday, we have our top sci-fi. It would be good to have you on it. Picking 5 is super hard. Uh, well, I might have to, yeah, we'll talk about that screen, but that sounds interesting. Because yeah, sci-fi is my jam, especially 1970 to 1990. I love that those. that era. And Jack says, "Glad you watched Colossus. It's very much a thinking movie. You have to be a real nerd to enjoy it." Really? Well, I'm. That's me. That's me. I loved it. It was really wild because I'm watching it and, absorbing it all in. And then at some point, I just jumped up and I was like, "Oh my God, I love this movie!" It was that good. It was that good. And I heard different about the release date. What is um this in reference to? Um, about the teacher cyber movie. Not sure. William Blake Hall says, yes, Collapsus helps you to earn your nerd card. Ah, so true. And let's see. Um, uh, Iron Spider Kid asks again, have you seen the Teacher Cyborg movie? I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about. If it's the 1999 class of 1999, we haven't gotten there yet because we're going by alphabetical order. But I've seen that movie. I don't know if there's another movie that you're thinking of. So let me know. I don't know what movie you're you're talking about. Um, Simply Steve 68, the Forbin project. Come on, RNG. T the F Forbin. I don't understand. What T the F? I'm totally lost, Simply Steve. I'm off to a science fiction convention. Live long and prosper, RNG and all Botanica brother says. Oh my goodness, what that is so amazing. You Oh my goodness, I didn't know that you were gonna be going off to do that. That sounds like so much fun. Have a great time. Thank you for hanging out with us. That sounds really great. Um, and Volcano is here and says, "Hello guys, I'm taking a break from playing Starfield." Oh yeah, you were talking about Starfield the other day. Um, Phantom Outsider says there's no AI for or robots in the Incredible Shrinking Man. Oh, okay. Yes, that's what I was thinking because I was trying to put it together, but let's see, let's see. And Nigel says, robots are very rare in science fiction film and aren't enough of them to say much about or AI. I don't know. I found about almost 300 movies. That's quite a bit. So we'll see. When Blake Call says, "Hi, Vulcan. I believe that RNG is really into Universal Soldier. I really do love that movie, but we're not. We're doing everything. Just FYI, everyone. We're doing it alpha chronological, so we haven't gotten to that one yet. Not just quite. Uh, oh, okay. TFP, the Forbin Project initials. Okay, got it. um, let's see. And let's see, Nigel says, there are ones There are the ones something went wrong, iRobot Saturn 3. Yes, but what year did it come out in? I think we are not yet there at Saturn 3 yet. We're getting there though. We're in the 70s. Um, and oh, okay, yes. I see when you just like just do the shorten it up instead of saying Colossus the Forbin Project over and over again. Gotcha. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep going because uh I will not be finished with the list. Well, I'm just realizing it. I gotta keep going. So I'm not ignoring anybody's comments. I just want to get through the list because there's a lot of titles that are, I'm only on slide 24 and I've got over 100 slides to go. So let me get going with this slide. Um, and it looks like people want to get ahead of where I'm at. So let me get to where let me catch up to you guys. So okay, we got the Forbin Project. Okay, 1971, THX 130. Sorry, 1138. Of course, these cool guys here. A George Lucas production here. George Lucas directed there. 1971, Paperman, Henry Norman. I haven't seen this movie. I would love to. Um, uh, I don't know. Is it? I'm not sure if anybody here has seen it, but it looks like it's really good. And William Blake Call says, "Thank you. Love the THX 1138 policemen. Aren't they cool? I've always thought that they were really, really cool." Um, okay, now this one, everybody's been trying to get me to watch this movie. 1972, Silent Running. We've got Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Um, and William Blake Call says, Paperman is a red herring. You think there's an evil computer, but it's just just a human villain. Gotcha. Now, guys, I had to add in some Godzilla in this. 1973, Godzilla versus Megalon. Jet Jaguar is the one that we're specifically looking at, and this is one that you guys told me about. Thank you so much for for suggesting it, and I can't wait to see this one day. Um, and Nigel Donaldson says Forbin Project very interesting with no robots. This was the first Skynet computer film, though. Yes, it was. It really was. And it was super creepy when the robot or when Colossus started to ask for demands. Like, what? Then it started like assassinating people. I was like, wow, that's just so crazy. And Simply Steve says THX 1138 is a great movie. It really is. It really is. I think it's due for another rewatch real soon. And William Blake Hall says Huey, Dewey, and Louie, some of the most adorable robots of all time. I can't wait to see them. Um, Brogu says, yes, Godzilla versus Megalon, Jet Jaguar, my favorite Godzilla movie. Oh, wow. Brogu, are you like a really big Godzilla fan? I have to I have to go through a Godzilla phase, I think. I think I'm gonna have to go through a Godzilla phase. And Simply Steve says, yes, Jet Jaguar. Um, and Unicorn Rapid Studio says, I'm on the side of 24 and I have over 100 slides. That's when the when root beer came out of my Oh man. much for the super chat and and the laughs. All right, I'm gonna get you a nice thank you that I think is befitting of how I feel right now. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Gosh. You guys really like Jet Jaguar. I gotta see this film. I have got to see this film. Um and let's see, Nigel says, I don't know if you covered The Day the It Stood Still. But if not, another important film about world peace. Absolutely, of course I did. I reviewed this movie. It's my the first movie I reviewed on the channel. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. It's incredible, incredible movie. It's a classic. For crying out loud, it's a classic. And let's see. And Brogu says, yes, ever since I was a kid, I love Godzilla movies. Oh, wow. See, that's what I was missing. That was missing from my childhood. Godzilla. I would see Godzilla every once in a while. I was like, okay, cool. And I think once or twice I was able to see. I think my first Godzilla movie was Mothra, the one with Mothra and the two little girls. That one was great. Unicorn says fun times, yes. And Phantom Outside says retro nerd girl. I came in late, but I didn't notice if you mentioned the Hedexac, which features Spencer Tracy and Hepburn, a new computer brain that is going to revolutionize research. Um, No, no. If you could repeat can you do me a favor? Just repeat the name of the title. Is it the desk set or the deck set? Oh, okay, sorry. Don't do that. Tyndale did that for you. Okay, I got it. I need to just like go a little further down. I saw Godzilla and Megalon at a drive-in in '77. Oh, that's so cool. Same year as Star Wars came out. Ian Tyndale says, Death Set is my favorite Christmas film. It's a Christmas film too? Wow. Okay, I need to so get on that. Okay, the Death Set. Does anybody know the year of that movie? Christmas film too. Oh my goodness, I'm in. You only have to say Christmas movie, and guys, I'm crazy for Christmas. It's ridiculous. Just love that crazy holiday. And I never do anything traditional. I just do my own thing on Christmas. RNG hook up with the YouTube channel Jerome Wheelsbury. It's run by a girl known as Jerome, who is an absolute expert in all things Godzilla, and she's kind of nerdy too. Oh, that's cool. And Ian says, and it's Christmas film. I don't care what anyone says. The death set. That is so cool. William says, Nigel, we may have skipped The Earth Stood Still today, but um, that may have seemed too obvious. We all dig Gort here. Yeah, no, I didn't skip it. Didn't skip it. I absolutely do have it on the list, and it was mentioned. Nigel Donaldson said, I wish I had a sci-fi alphabetical encyclopedia at hand, but I don't. Me too. Somebody needs to make one of those if it doesn't exist. Okay, the death set 1957. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Phantom Outsider. That'll make it much easier for me to find it later. And I'm just gonna make a note that it's a Christmas movie too. Okay, let me. I'm just gonna start moving a little further. We're only one. We're let's see. All right, so 1973, there it is, Westworld, the Gunslinger, is one of the most iconic, but there were lots and lots of robots in that film. Very, very good. I thought the special effects that they tried to pull off, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, it wasn't bad. This one is freaky, and I've never seen this before. 1974, The Quest for Tapes. What the heck is it? N The Questor tapes. I've never seen that before. Ooh, so it's freaky. It's very freaky. Um, but I wanna see it. 1974, Flash Gordon. I think, I've seen this one, but I for some reason, I must have forgotten the part with the robots, but, yeah, very interesting movie, just to say that. 1974, Dark Star, The Ship Computer, and Bomb Number 20. We also have, love this movie so much. It's so weird, but I love it. 1974, Zardoz, The Tabernacle. You guys remember The Tabernacle? A very odd movie, but I just love these odd movies, these weirdo movies. Oh, man. And then 1974, we've got Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla. And of course, Mecha Godzilla is front and center right there. Um, then 1975, Terror of Mecha Godzilla. Um, and so 1975, we've got Stepford Wives, where I don't know why anybody would wanna do this, but all the husbands replace their wives with robots. Uh, just the weirdest thing ever. But, a very, had a great social commentary as well in this movie, and, definitely is one of those movies that is chilling and it's a thriller too at the same time. Then we've got 1976 Logan's Run. Oh, I made a mistake here with my graphics there, but Box is the computer there, and the robot that is well, I'm not sure if he's accident, but he's following protocol. He's following protocol and is a pure terror at the same time. Uh, and as someone mentioned Demon Seed, and here it is, 1977 Demon Seed. Proteus 4 is uh, is the robot in this one. So interesting. Um, and let's see. Star Wars, of course, 1977, RTD2 and C3PO, along with many, many other very exciting and interesting uh, robots there. And Brogu says, Terror of Mechagodzilla, my third favorite movie. Uh, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, my second favorite movie. And Iron Spider Kid says, their robot wife Uh, there were the robot wives. Yes, they're really weird. Those there were it was really creepy. It was really creepy. That's what. And William Blake Hall says, "Doesn't the villain's name in Terror of Mechagodzilla sound like Doctor Who?" Um, I'm not sure. Does it sound like it? Somebody answered that question. Um, and Random Outsider says Star Wars. Never heard of that. Anybody heard of that movie? And Jack says, totally forgot about the tabernacle in Zardoz. I would die for a faithful remake, current special effects, and a budget to match. Yes, 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 yes. I wouldn't mind it. Yes, not. I would want them to make it a little bit more cohesive, uh, but definitely with a bigger budget. Uh, sans uh, CGI, practical, please. Um, and I would like them to like keep the same costumes and stuff. Maybe a slight update on the costumes, but I do want them to go ridiculous with the costumes like they did. But there's something to do with that dialogue that was so interesting. I really enjoyed. Simply Steve says, uh, yep, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla was uh, 2 on 1 for good monsters, Godzilla and King Caesar. When its sequel, The Terror of Mechagodzilla, was 2 on 1 for the bad monsters. Ooh, Mechagodzilla and Titanosaurus. Interesting. And Ian says, "Don't forget the smart bomb in Dark Star." I think I did mention it. It was bomb number 20 or something like that. Um, and William Blake also says, "IMDb tells me that the original name of the Mad Doctor in Mechagodzilla was Doctor Mafune, or Mafuni, which I think is the English dub turned him into Doctor Who." Oh. Why did they do that? And, let's see if we can get a few more in here. Oh, right, 1978, Star Crash. Of course, we've got the legendary L. Love that character. 1978, Battlestar Galactica movie, Boxy, Cylons, and of course, Lucifer. Loved these guys so much when I was a kid. Um, I didn't get to see this movie, at least if I probably did see the movie, like, later on, but really I need a refresher. I need a refresher. Okay, here we go, 1979, The Black Hole, Vincent, Maximilian, and Bob. We had the absolute pleasure of seeing this last Saturday with our watch party. Oh my goodness, this was so good. So good. And It was so weird. This earlier this week, I believe yesterday, someone else was talking about the black hole. It's just it must be rolling around in the zeitgeist. Love this. This was great. This was truly, truly great. Oh, the guys are really piling in a lot of comments here. Star Crash, my guilty pleasure, says Brogu. Yes, mine too. I love that movie. It's so silly, but I do love it. And Jacqueline says 3CPO, the C3PO and R2D2 set on the gold standard for robots, but but don't forget the actors who made them work. Yes. Um, And, let's see, um, Phantom Outside, the Silence are were huge Pong enthusiasts. Interesting, yes. Unicorn says, "I used to draw the colonial viper, um, i is attacking the Cylon ships in 5th grade after, afternoon classes." Wow! And, that sounds like a really cool memory. Um, and William Blake Hall says, "Who gives a robot a circular jaw?" Honestly. And Outcast, Creative says, "Yay, Vincent, and Bob, yeah, they're so sweet, those 2." And Nigel Donaldson says, "Stepford Wives, a very misunderstood film at the time, far from objectifying women, it was making a point about American obsession with, eternal youth and plastic surgery." Yeah, amongst many, yeah, many, commentaries baked in, and I just love those kinds of movies where it's like, it did have something to say, but at the same time, um, they did not, it was thrilling, like, as for me, it was like, just, like, uncovering this conspiracy theory type thing, and it's just like, "Oh, man, this is big." Another movie that I really loved was a movie called Coma. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. Um, Michael Douglas is in that movie. It's been years since I've seen it though. I'm due for a rewatch. Um, and Brogu says, "The Black Hole," another guilty pleasure, isn't it? Just really, what a great movie. Um, and Simply Steve says, "Boxy was the kid. Dang it." Um, it was a fully machine, uh, pet of his. Daggett was the oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. For some reason, that came up like that. Oh, interesting. Thank you. Thank you for getting, helping me with that. And, let's see, William Blake called, let's see, Vandal, let's see, where's Buck Rogers and Twinkie? Did it have a thing? Yes, it did. Yes, it's coming up. Mhm. And, yes, thank you, Steve. Yes, good catch. And, Wex Luther says, "Hail retro and chat. May your circuits stay dry." Oh, man. Yes, great seeing you in here. And Brogu says, "Unicorn corn I used to draw, um, Viper and Asylum ships as well." Oh, you too? Oh, that sounds so cool. Oh, Unicorn says, "I might even have some of the drawings still." That is so cool. And says, "I knew I wasn't the only one." So cool. Um, and Unicorn says, "Coma, a book by Robin Cook." Oh, really? I didn't know that. And, William Blake Hall says, "Coma, yes, a young Michael Douglas starred with Genevieve, Bujold as Dr. Susan Wheeler, tracking down the truth of the sinister Jefferson Institute." Yeah, that was a really good, what a nice, thriller that was. Jack says, "The black hole robots for a movie trying to be so serious after seeing droids in Star Wars, I felt they were very Disney." Yeah, they did retain like a lot of Disney qualities, but for the story that they were telling, which was so dark, um, they were perfect. Ah, great, 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 great. So great. Yes, Boxy was played by Nora Hathaway, who was in the original Shining. And Never Ending Story, of course. Yeah, he played Atreyu. And Burger says, you guys still have some of it, you still got some of your drawings. You're better than me. um, and Jack says Coma was a good film. It was really good. Um, um, and Real Steel qualify. It, I believe it's on the list already. Yep, but and we haven't gotten to it yet. And when Mark says, Richard Widmark does a decent villain. All right. And so we're getting there, crawling through. There one more slide, and there's Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers and Twiki is, of course, the lovable robot. Um, and 1979, we've got Mother, the ship computer for Alien, and Ash, the android that was um, turned evil at some point, and then, well, they got him to confess some things. In 1979, there was Chomps, which they decided to get a dog and turn him into a robot. Or well, actually, they made a robot that was the likeness of a dog. Then, oh yes, look at this one. 1980 Saturn III Hector. What a scary, scary robot. That This is the one that gave me real nightmares. He made Maximilian look, like, weak. Okay, yeah, totally, totally. 1980 Battle Beyond the Stars, Nell, the ship's computer. Um, and 1980 Galaxina, and of course, the titular, character Galaxina was a robot. And, now this one is just, there for, as sort of, a bonus. Not we're it's not real, it's mechanical, but is it, we're gonna make room for little Bobo here. And that is 1981 Clash of the Titans, one of the most lovable character, and that you could find in that movie. Just really crazy sweet. And, then, 1981 Heavy Metal. This I don't think he has a name, he just goes by Robot. This one, you guys were the ones to tell me about this one, um, and I remember seeing this a long time ago, just forgot that I did. 1981, The Heartbeats. Definitely, really cool to have it added on here. Um William Blakehall says, for me, Buck Rogers will always be the original newspaper comic strips. Oh, really? Mm. And William Blakehall says, Steve, the topic was the movie Coma, Wildmark was in that, yes. And Ian says, oh, not a film, but a book. I love, I love it if it became a film one day. The Good Whale, T.J. Bass, 1974, Larry Denver becomes half cyborg, and the whale ship, Rokal Maru, is a cyber whale. Ooh, that's interesting. Sort of like a futuristic Moby Dick. That sounds interesting. And William Blake Hall says, I've seen that title. Being a good whale has to be better than being a good worm. got Emperor Doom. And Nigel says, the real life issues of the time, Nixon, Watergate, conspiracy, Vietnam, influenced separate wives to some extent. All films and are the products of their times. I absolutely agree. They and I love that about movies. I believe that they are historical artifacts. I do not like the idea of tampering with them in any way, and they are just one of the most beautiful things that or art forms in the human um, that has recorded human history since it became something so incredible in the 20th century. So I think we need to protect it. We need to protect it, guys. And the purity, the we need to protect the purity of our history, and that's it. Each film has that beautiful is a beautiful snapshot in time and place. And the Phantom Outsider says, I think we also missed the computer wore tennis shoes in 1969. A lab accident gives Kurt Russell computer memory. Really? Okay. Um, it's called the computer wore. Okay, I wrote that down. So we can definitely have that. And Robot Carnival. Oh my God, Simply Steve. I don't think it is. I forgot about that one. Do you remember what year that was? That would be great. Jack says Ash the android was not evil. He was just doing what he was programmed to do. It was the corporation that was evil. Yes, yes, he was following orders. Yeah, that's he was definitely following orders. He was not doing anything like, he wasn't evil. His programming was. um And Brogu says, 1979 Star Trek the movie picture of it. I don't think I've gotten. Did I do that one yet? Um. Oh, Snapples, guys. That's one that I did mean to add in, and I must have left that out. Sorry about that, guys. Star Trek feature. Yeah, sorry about that. uh, the Voyager satellite, which was sent out many decades before, became self-aware in the movie, looking for its creator. Yes. And Josh Herrera is here. Hello, says TGIF. Happy Friday to you, Retro, and everyone. Oh, thank you so much. Happy Friday to you as well. Thank you for stopping by. And let's see. Uh, And the major is here, says, "I'm late, but, has anyone mentioned Colossus the Forbidden Project?" Yes, we did. It's like my new favorite movie, so yes. Um, and, William Blake Hall says 1987. Okay, 1987. So, we haven't gotten to 1987. I hope it's in there, so, uh all right, so I am going to, since you guys are mentioning things that I haven't reached yet, that means that I'm behind and I need to catch up with you. So let's keep going. Of course, 1982 Blade Runner, The Replicants. 1982, Android. Okay, this is one that I personally remembered, that nobody mentioned before, and it is a wild movie, very wild, a tad on the violent side, but it is also, um, a strange puppy. It's, along the lines of, um, kind of like Saturn III where everything goes belly up. And and the main character is, Max 404. Then in 1982, Tron, we got Master Control, Clue, and a whole bunch of people. But this is one of the most iconic movies of all time. And we may be getting a Tron 3. We may be getting a Tron 3, which, should be interesting. I am about to watch, Tron the second Tron movie, so, I'm gonna set aside some time to make sure I watch that movie. Um, and, 1982, Airplane 2, uh, there's a supercomputer in that one. We've got 1983, Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jared Sin. If if the Outcast creative is in the chat, that's one that he suggested. Um, and 1983, Superman 3, the supercomputer. Remember when it briefly took over the body of one of the evil sidekicks and became this creature? I loved it. And there we go. There's War Games, 1983 War Games, War Operation Plan Response, and Joshua. And that is a perfect timing because then I can say hi to Barry on. Hello, Barry on. And there we have War Games for you. Um, and let's see. And Jack says, the robot in Saturn III was pretty scary at the drive-in. Ooh, wow. Knowing his human counterpart is a murdering psychopath adds to it. Yes. Oh my God. The two of them together was just sickening. And then, like when everything went belly up with even that plan was like, oh man, this is really wicked. What a wicked movie. Um, and let's see. You guys. Um, and Jack said, Android played on cable repeatedly. Klaus Kinski was in true form. Yes, that movie left a mark on me. Like I was like, what is this that I'm watching? It was I don't know. It was like it was really shocking, I think. It was shocking to me, but I did enjoy it. Um, I'm due to watch it again. I'm sure I wouldn't have the same if it wouldn't have the same effect, but it was just one of those movies that did leave a mark on me. Um, and the Major says, there's also Cyborg Lance Henriksen. Um, Adrian James says TikTok from the Return of Oz looking robot. And Gary says Halloween 3 in 1982 had killer androids. I should put that down. Okay. I didn't think about that. And yes, hey, you doing? How you doing? And William Blake Hall says, "Hey, there were robot butlers in 1973 Woody Allen movie Sleeper. about life in the year 2073. Okay. I forgot about Sleeper. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Cast Creative says, War Game, such a good movie. How about a nice game retro of retro chess? Uh, and Jack says, forgot about Sleeper William, the scene where Woody Allen imitates one pure humor. And uh, no one actually answers Joshua's question at the very end. Does he get mad about not getting to play chess? Oh, and Phantom Outsider says, what about Firefox with Clint Eastwood had a neural link to a plane? The Russian plane had a neural link, making it have a faster uh, um, time, and needs to steal it. I don't know about that one. That one's a little tricky because, um, like, that one's a little trickier because he's still using. Oh man, that's a tough one. I'd have to see exactly what that was, how that was used. Um, okay. Um, and telepathic command, very sophisticated, but not sure it's AI though. Because at that point, the computer would just be a tool. It's not really uh, it's not really acting on its own. Um, let's see. Well, we're gonna continue the list so that we could get through it because I got a while to go. 1984 Electric Dreams, Edgar. Uh, the computer I think just goes bonkers. I have not seen this movie. I want to see it just to see what it is. What's going to happen in this one? It seems very interesting. 1984 Revenge of the Nerds. They have had a robot there, and 1984 Hide and Seek. Um, 1984 Ice Pirates. We all know these incredibly fun robots here that were always needing repair. 1984 The Last Starfighter Beta Unit. What a great character. And there's the Runaway, guys. Somebody mentioned it before. 1984 Runaway, the robot spiders, and there may be a few other um, for a few other ones. Was that from Barry On? Yes, Barry On mentioned it. Um, 1984, The Terminator. We all know this one. Skynet and the Terminator 8 T-800. 1984, Return to Oz. Ooh, a typo there. to be Oz. The Return to Oz. TikTok. We have cute. What a cutie pie. I want one of those. 1985 had Rocky 4. Paulie, you guys reminded me of this one last week. 1985, Real Genius, L. 1985, The Tower. Lola, the computer system. This one I have not seen, and for some reason I want to see this low budget thing. Um, and let's see. Some people are liking Runaway. Runaway, a very underrated movie. Um, Phantom Outsider says it's kind of man, one with machine. You think the plane does it? Jack says Runaway was one of those films Tom Selleck got for playing Indiana, for not playing Indiana Jones. Oh no. Oh no. And Rogu says Runaway was a great movie. I'm sure they didn't uh, use $100 million to make it. Ah, yeah, exactly. Um, and those runaway spiders were dangerous because they shot out acid. Ooh, okay. Ooh, nasty, nasty, nasty. And the Iron Spider kid says, "I love the Terminator movie." Me too. Me too. Love that movie. And says, "Have you seen the Hot Terminator Hot Toys figure?" Nope, have not seen it. I imagine it must be amazing. From like some of the ones that I've seen in the past have been really great. All right, let's continue on. 1984, Weird Science. You guys convinced me that Lisa wasn't was an AI um, creature. I thought she was just a magical lady that just showed up, but um, yeah. 1985, Daryl. I think a lot of people remember this one. And then 1986, Annihilator. There was a whole bunch of AI robots in this one. 1986, Space Camp. Jinx was the computer's name here, the robot actually. And of course, we all love, a lot of us know and love 1986 Transformers, the movie, Autobots, Decepticons. Ah, so much fun. 1986 Maximum Overdrive. We discussed it, and even though that these guys are being influenced by aliens somehow, I do believe that they had the sentience or became sentient for a little while, and so they do um, fill the bill. They fill the bill. 1986 Aliens. We've got Bishop, one of my favorite characters in the movie, and one of my favorite characters, um, favorite robots, if you will. We need more bishops around. 1986, we've got Flight of the Navigator. Of course, Max. I think a lot of people like this particular movie for the sentiments. And we've got 1986, The Eliminators. This is a wild movie. The Eliminators, I mean, that's a wild movie. I need to see that one more time just to, absorb everything. Let's see. Um, and Jack says, "Missed your live." Sorry, I'm hitting the mic. Sorry about that. Um, Missed your live Terminator stream. I can only say I come to bury the Terminator, not to praise it. Let it be what it was. Oh, yeah. Well, I am gonna have one more stream on the Terminator, but it is to propose like a different kind of story. But I don't know when that's gonna be. It might be a while. It might be a while. Phantom Outsider, what about the net 1995? It was humans using the net to terrorize Sandra Bullock. Um, oh man, that's a tough one. I'll write it down temporarily because um uh 'cause I think what I was looking for was is sentient beings. You know, even if they're doing their own program, they're doing that on their own, um, and somehow even if it's becoming a problem or whatever. So we'll see. William Blake Hall says, Jack, I think any future for any version of the Terminator is still way up in the air. Yes. Um, and like to think I gave retro things to seriously consider. Oh yeah, there's a lot in the stuff that you sent me. So thank you so much. Um, and Gary says that there's a cyborg in Weird Science too. Yes, I believe that, right, one of the biker people. There were, yes, the biker guys that trashed the house in Weird Science. Yes, thank you, Simply Steve. And Jack says, thank you for remembering Lisa from Weird Science. She was created using a military mainframe hacked by an early 8 286 PC. Okay, well, you were paying attention. Wow. Yes. Now because I thought about it for a little bit and I was like, oh well, okay, we gotta add her. Um, the only thing I have to say is, I wonder why did she have to leave? 'Cause she left. I don't know why she had to leave. The major says, "Ye gods, I remember the Eliminators. They were that's a crazy movie." And Ian says, "Another book Asimov wrote, Orson Welles bought the Orson Orson Welles bought the rights, but didn't make the film. Ugh, didn't make the film. Evidence, man runs for mayor. Opponent claims he's a robot. X-rays him, features Dr. Susan Calvin, um, robo-psychiatrist. Oh, Dr. Susan Calvin, she showed up in a lot of um, the stories, didn't she? And she was in iRobot for sure, right? The Demolition Man, the police department, and the city rely on AI to monitor everything. And outside creative, I love the Eliminators. Hoping to interview the director of it soon. Oh, cool. When Blake Hall's 1986 TV movie, Annihilator, was about a man being leading a lonely quest to stop an invasion of alien robots. Uh, DeLorean DMC is here. Hello. Says hi, RNG. Unsure if it counts, but there's Excalibur. Uh, or Excalibrate from Rage War, the Dungeon Master as well. Um, is that a movie? I've never heard of that one. Brogu says, I think the Terminator will come back in time and stop us from redoing the franchise. Yes. And Major says, Harsh Realm, not a movie, but failed TV show. Soldiers enter and AI run sim to take down a rogue military officer who seized control of the sim. And and Uh, DeLorean DMC says from Charles Band. Oh, I'm totally lost. Are these books or I'm totally lost. I'm totally lost. Um, let's see. We're gonna push on a little bit longer. 1986, we've got Short Circus, of course, not number five or Johnny Five. Then we've got 1986, Deadly Friend. You guys remember this one? um, what a movie. We got BB and Samantha Pringle. 1987, Cherry 2000. Uh, just an insane movie. Um, oh yeah, and Outcast Creative. Tim Tim Thomason is in this movie too, right? And let's see. And oh, okay, we're getting to the bottom of this. Jack says Lisa left because she had succeeded in her task of getting her creators girlfriends. Can't imagine that they would have been cool with her hanging around, being all Kelly LeBrock. That's right. I remember her saying that, like, "Oh, it's time for you." Yes, I remember. I remember. I remember. I remember. And William Blake also says Charles Brand made lots of cheap sci-fi movies. Okay, I must see them all. I must see them all. Okay, that's say no more. Say no more. I'm in. Outcast Creative says Rage War, which also went by several other titles. Is another film from Charles Brand, which also featured various creatures and androids. Band owned Empire Pictures, which made all the which made the Eliminators. Okay, got it, got it. Thank you for the information, everybody. I love it. I love that you guys are getting me all educationed up. And the Outcast Creative says I saw Deadly Friend in the cinema. And William Blake Hall says never any forgetting Christy Swanson, RNG. Yep, recall Deadly Friend. And Outcast Creative says Tim Thomason is in that one. Yes, Cherry 2000. He plays it. The guy he plays in there is some kind of work. Okay, he is a bad guy, insanely bad, insanely bad. I remember seeing that from the first time and just being like just shocked. Like, what did I just see? Gary says the Vindicator 1986. Haven't seen it though. Um, okay, okay, and I'm just going with the films that I've heard of. Oh, okay. So the Vindicator, where's the AI in that one? Tell me about it. Um, And Simply Steve 68 says, You could say that Charles Band was the Ed Wood of the 80s. Oh, I must see his work then. There, yes, must see. And of course, 1987, batteries not included, The Fix-Its. So cute. What a cute movie. 1987, RoboCop. Of course, you've got RoboCop. And then we've got Ed 209. Iconic, iconic. More Short Circuit. We've got 1988 Short Circuit 2, of course, Johnny 5 again. 1989 Cyborg, Pearl Prophet. What insane effects they used on this one. It's really like, what is going on? Very freaky and quite entertaining too. You can't take your eyes off of it. 1989, robot jocks, and these giant robots. And I think though, with these robots, we have to ask ourselves, are they're not exactly sentient. They're not sentient beings though. But I don't know. In that regard, I think we may have to just include that other movie as well. Um, and Gary says, Charles Brand still makes lots of cheap sci-fi movies. Oh, I can't. It sounds wonderful. And Rogu says, Retro just wanted to thank you for being a YouTuber that does their best to read the comments from the chat. It makes us feel like we're part of the conversation and that we're being heard. Oh my God, you made me. Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. It's too late. I'm already crying. Oh, that's so sweet. Ah, my eyes are leaking. Oh, thank you. That is very sweet of you to say that. Um, that really is. I don't know if I can always do this, so but I really enjoy trying, and I know how important it is, because I'm a lot in a lot of chats, and it's always nice when people do like try to do that. So thank you for that. That's really sweet. I am blushing and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, um, that was very kind of you. Thank you so much. Um, the next movie is this is really tough going on to the next movie after that awesome comment. Um, 1980 Total Recall, Johnny Cab. Total Recall is just one of my favorite movies. Um, it's just incredibly good in my opinion. Uh, One of the first movies to like, besides Terminator, to like blow my mind. I was like, wow, this movie is incredible. The concept too is just wonderful. So, yes, love this movie. And uh, Jack says RoboCop still holds up. Uh, Peter Weller really makes it work with great supporting cast, an excellent villain, and the baddest henchman. Yes, it's really like there's so much to love about RoboCop. So much to love about RoboCop, and just wonderfully directed. Just an incredible music, acting, special effects, everything, everything. What doesn't it have? Ah, it's got everything. Um, and also, Simply Steve is in agreement with you, Brogu. Um, that is so cool. And Gary says Night Flyers 1987. Um, uh, let's see. Says Night Flyers based on the story by George R. Martin. Oh, okay. And Simply Steve says, "Drive, just drive." I remember where would you like me to take you? Just drive. William Blackwell says most Charles Band movies are skippable, but he is notable for Shadow Zone 1980 and Trancers 1984. He did a great Lovecraft movie, from Beyond in 1986. Oh, wow. I'm getting, the top-notch ones there. And Ian says, "The trousers in Wallace and Gromit, the wrong trousers in the wrong trousers," 1994. And, William Blake Hall says, "Total Recall, everything really happened. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it." And oh, man. Oh, I forgot about Rotor. Ah, and thank you for having the year for me. Rotor. Forgot about Rotor. Um, and Ian, excellent call. The Wong trousers is a must catch. Wow. And Ian says, Total Recall, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And okay, says, "Oh my God, Rotar is a straight to video shoe in." Yeah. Oh man. Um, and I know, Simply Steve, the list just expanded again. Oh my God. And Johnny Dangerously, 1984, Killer Robot in a Box. That, oh yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. Forgot about that one. Okay. And Outcast Creative says, "I agree, Retro. You must watch the wrong pantaloons trousers." Okay, that is going on the list. And Total Recall and RoboCop use the same actor as the villain. Absolutely, same director too. Just great. I love that movie. Those they are both incredible movies. Um, let's see, what was next? 1990 Hardware, the Mark 13. Um, I have not seen this movie. It looks, according um, to the stills I could see from this movie, they look really gross. Then here's the Alienator, and she's pretty fierce, I have to say. Um, 1990, class of 1999. This is definitely like the one of these schlockiest B movies, full of wild, crazy antics, and I loved it all. I loved it all. Absolutely. Um, let's see. This is one that I remembered like this morning. I was like, "Oh, what about that movie with that girl?" Um, the girl Terminator is basically what I call her. I love this movie, okay? I really do. So don't judge me. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. 1991, Eve of Destruction. It was with Gregory Hines, no less. Gregory Hines was in this one. This is another guilty pleasure. 1991, Robotrix. I'm trying to find this movie everywhere and I cannot find it. I caught it one day on was it was actually on Amazon, but didn't, I should have bought it when I could. But for some reason I didn't do that. And uh it was really it's a movie that has like insane pacing. It is crazy. It's unbelievable. Um the bad guy is like an insane Terminator. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just love it. Um, and of course, the iconic 1991 Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The T-1000 is here at Skynet. We got the Terminator T-800 as well. Then 1992, Nemesis Androids. Nemesis, this one, the Outcast Creative, you're very familiar. You should be very familiar with Nemesis. This is just one of the guys that was in that movie, but um, this is the one with Oliver Gruner, and I do adore this movie. I really do. Um, Now let me see what you guys have going on here. Cause let's see. Ian said, what was the robot on the 60s series Lost in Space? Oh man, I forgot his name. You guys, um, for a long time I thought it was Robbie the robot, but it's not, somebody else. I had it wrong. Keith E says it's been a while since Brogan mentioned it, but hit the like. Hit the like button. Yes. If you're enjoying the content, please do hit the like button. Much appreciated. And B9, is that the name of it? Um, William Blake Hall says 1988. My stepmom is an alien, the purse that threatened the world. Oh, I forgot about that. Another movie I should have known. Okay. Yes, purse. And says, what about Big 1988? That Zoltar machine seemed to have its own agenda. I'm not sure about that one. Let's put a pencil on it. um, B9, a play on benign. Interesting. And the Outcast Creative says, Debbie Evans doubled as Eve. She was great. Oh wow. Yeah, the lady that you interviewed recently, that was a stunt person. And Jack says, remember renting hardware on VHS? It's pretty graphic and in the ultra violence, but a cult classic. Yeah, that movie just looks so just the stills look crazy. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to handle that. I'm kind of a lightweight sometimes. Um, and Gary says, Steel and Lance, 1991. Haven't seen it yet. Um, and Outcast Creative says Tim Thomas in that film. Also, yes, Nemesis plays a very big role in Nemesis, and I believe Nemesis 3 as well too. He's in that one. Um, uh, I believe Robbie the robot though was in the Forbidden Planet, and then he just showed up on everything else. Um, and I wasn't sure either. I think his name he's just the robot. It was just, Lost in Space robot was just robot. It says Phantom Outsider. Um, yeah, for a long time I thought he was Robbie the robot, but they look alike a lot alike too. But I'm sure once you take a look at them, it's like, oh no. And Simply Steve says the robot official name was B9, and Jack says, Eve of Destruction was pretty good. In my opinion, I think it was pretty good too. I don't know why people don't like that movie, but it's one of those movies. And when you say that movie, people are like, yeah, that's a bad movie. I'm like, what? I thought it had a narratively, it was decent. It had a smaller budget than a lot of movies that were coming out at that time, but the acting was definitely there. Um, and the special effects sometimes were a little wonky, but not more than any other movie. I loved it. It was so good, and then especially when she was starting to get, like, motherly instincts, and she just didn't know what she was doing. It was just I loved it. I loved it. I love that movie 'cause it ramps up the terror. You don't know, you hope that she's not gonna hurt the child, you know? Um, so anyway, Outcast Creative says, "I met the director of Hardware, Richard Stanley." And, Keith he says, "The person Outlook interview, that's the stunt person is our stunt person that's on here all the time." Mm. Oh, yeah, it's a totally different, person. It's not the same our favorite stunt lady is not the same one as the one that, Outcast Creative interviewed. And William Blake Hall says 1954 target Earth and Chicago invaded by robots from Venus. Uh, oh wow. Yeah, I'll have to add that one too. And Brogu says, I love Nemesis. The other one, it's another one of my guilty pleasures. Oh my God. Look, that movie. Yeah, and you know what? I not for nothing, I mean, some of the ones that came after were had some issues with pacing, and it was sometimes they went into to weirdness. It would Some of them were just too weird, but, yeah, that first one was really wild. That was a wild movie. Yeah, and, Jack says, Hardware's killer, nearly indestructible robot is super creepy." Ooh, it looks it. It looks like it. Ugh. And Rafael Lopez is here. I love hardware and filmmaker Richard Stanley. Okay, so well, I may have to take a look at it. I'm gonna have to keep the lights on. I have to do watch it in the early day so I don't get scared. But I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to give it a shot. Um, and I didn't realize that Bishop was in, Alien 3, but he was in Alien 3. Um, and, it's like Alien 3 is one of those movies that I always forget. I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's" and I've seen it, I keep forgetting it. But also, yeah. 1992 Fortress Z. 1992 Homewrecker, Lucy the Robot. And, 1992 Universal Soldier, one of my favorite movies. I love this movie so much. Ah, Dolph Lundgren was, like, so good in this. And, not for nothing, Jean-Claude Van Damme he was really doing a lot of intense acting in this, and, I think he gave it his all. He gave it his all in this. So I do love that movie for those reasons. They really are, showcased, very well in the movie. The editing as well in that movie is really quite good. Um, and then 1993, Man's Best Friend, Robot Dog. We got Ali Sheedy in there. 1993, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. We've got 1993, Ghost in the Machine. We've got 1993 Cyborg with a very, very young Angelina Jolie. Ah, I do love this movie, 1993 Judge Dredd. Oh, I thought I made the correction. I have a spelling error here, but it's the ABC Warriors. It's a sect of, a group of robot warriors that were decommissioned. But, I always liked them because they kinda remind me of Terminators, but a very clunkier version. 1994, Star Trek Generations, of course, Data. 1994, Blank Man, J5, he had this basically, it was a janitor's bucket that he created into a robot. We have 1994, Death Machine. This is another one that has very, very gruesome visuals. So this is definitely a horror movie for sure, 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 sure. We've got 1995, Ghost in the Shell. We've got 1995, Cyborg, the Recycler. I want to see that actually. 1995, Nemesis 2, Nebula Androids. And I think this is when they started, there was like bodybuilding um, characters, which I loved. I was like, wow, what's going on here? Loved it. 1995, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, Alpha 5, Zordon, and of course the Zords. 1995, Virtuosity, Sid. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying. He says he called her by her first name and she answered me. Oh, okay. Well, I guess maybe her name is the same name too. I don't know. I'm confused. William Blake Hall says 1964, the Earth dies screaming, has robots gassing most of the Earth's population, then turning the rest into zombies. Ooh, that's gruesome. And the Earth dies screaming. Gosh. Uh, uh, Simply Steve says Lincoln Logs. And Ian Tyndale says, Data, Brent Spiner. Brent appears in Independence Day as the long-haired scientist who doesn't get out much. Yes, such a strange puppy, that one. And William Blake Hall says, I like Brent Spiner as Bob Wheeler on Night Court. And Simply says, uh, pronounced as data, not data. That's just my accent coming through. Sorry about that. Um, and and this is Automatic 1995. Um, this is Oliver again, Oliver Gruner. 1995 Screamers. David Screamer, Jessica Hansen Screamer. This is 1996 Nemesis 3, Pray Harder, Androids. They're all like completely muscle bound women. They look so cool. And then we had 1996 Nemesis 4, Death Angel Androids. Again. 1996 Chopping Mall. Everybody is very much wanting me to see Chopping Mall so very bad. Even though I hate, well, not that I hate, but I'm not the biggest fan of, I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies, but I was told that this is definitely one that I needed to make an exception from. 1996 Star Trek First Contact. We have Data and the Borg, or Data. And 1997, Austin Powers, the International Man of Mystery. Fembots. doing their thing. They were fantastic. 1997, Alien 4, Anna Lee Call. 1997, Nirvana Solo. Ah, I love these guys. 1998, Small Soldiers. They're just like mini Terminators underneath their outer shell. Oh, I didn't. You think so? Johnny Mnemonic, he's like sort of a cyborg. Um, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. I'm gonna pencil that um and think about that. I have to look at the plot again on that one to make sure, um because he goes into the virtual world a lot, but yeah, I'm not sure. We're gonna pencil in it. We'll pencil it. Something to ponder. 1998 host. This one. Oh gosh, guys, I saw this. I saw this. Uh, I would say maybe five years ago. This was really really good. This late. Okay, so we have this guy who's building out a computer, and he is introduced to a new coworker, and she's also, she's quite smart, and she is super super manipulative and ridiculously like she does everything in her power to try to get this man to leave his wife and son. And, at the end, ultimately, he doesn't leave them. He does, and he's like, they do have a relationship together. So she basically like manipulates him and blackmails him until she finally gets um uh decides that she's going to be part of the computer that they're building. Very, very weird and scary and creepy. I loved it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Um, and let's see. Um, Simply Steve says the military characters in Small Soldiers were voiced by some of the original Dirty Dozen guys. Yes, absolutely. And Solo 1996. Oh, you know what? I briefly thought about it, about Solo, and then it skipped my mind. Thank you for mentioning it again. Thanks, Gary. And William Blake Hall, excellent catch, Gary. 1996 movie Solo, zero relation to Star Wars, has Mario Van Peebles as a military robot. Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of Mario Van Peebles, he was in another movie that I've been trying to lock down for a long time. It was like a werewolf movie, and it's not sure exactly what the title is. But it was like a werewolf movie in the 90s. I can't find it anywhere. The Outcast Creative says, by the way, I suspect Retro might be a cyborg. Oh, don't give away my secrets. Gary says, there were killer robots in Space Truckers. Yes. Oh my God. You're so correct. That's another one that I thought about it, but Then somebody mentioned something else, and I forgot to write it down. I love space truckers. That movie was so good, so unexpected. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, "What is this? This is cute." And then it got really good. Charles Dance is in this, and he's just insane in that movie. Just really insane in that movie. Love it. All right. 1998, Lost in Space. Just robot. I was trying to find a name too, so yeah, they didn't provide anything for that one. 1999, The Iron Giant. 1999, The Matrix, of course, with agents and sentinels, and of course, The Matrix. 1999, Bicentennial Man, Andrew Martin. 1999, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Battle Droids, C-3PO, R2-D2, and everybody else. There was 1999, Virus. Jamie Lee Curtis was starred in that movie. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! I found Brogu, you found it. Mario Van Peebles was in the movie called Full Eclipse. That's the movie. Yes, I'm gonna write that down before I forget. Before I forget, Full Eclipse. Um, yes, that movie. It was like a little corny, but it was still good. I loved it. I loved it. And there were moments in it that I really enjoyed. William Blake Hall says, "Yay, Iron Giant," and William Blake Hall says, "Correct." In 1993's Full Eclipse, Mario Van Peebles played a werewolf police detective. Yes, I love that. I love that so much. The year 2000, we had the Red Planet, Amy. 2001, Artificial Intelligence, David, Gigolo, Joe, and Teddy. In 2001, we have The Smart House, Pat. I love this movie so much. It's a Disney Channel movie, but very, very, a lot of fun. Then 2001, Down. That's an interesting one right there. And there we go, end of part 2. And so next week we will be doing part 3, which is about the same length. And hopefully I will, if there's any extra things here, let's see, give me one moment. Actually, let's do this because it's happening, guys. It's happening right now. Let's see if I can find it. It was happening. Oh my god. Oh boy. Um, and William Blake also says Marion Van Peebles as a werewolf detective could have teamed up with the vampire police detective from Canadian show Forever Night. Ooh, Forever Night. I love that show. I love that show. Oh my goodness. Exactly, well, you'll never remember forever night, yes. Um, Outcast Creative says, "You don't need me to pop on, I take it." Well, there's a big green alien. Oh, it's a virus. Yeah, well, I got the, we shall chat. Let me see, see, sounds like, 16 to 32-bit video game music. Yeah, that's what it was. Well, yeah, that's what it was for. I just, love that 80s sounding, music. And Maru says, "I told you a long time ago, those allergies just love me." Yes, they do. And, before I go, I just wanted to get a little bit of, information through the grapevine or whatever. I'm gonna go through the list of things I have coming up next. The watch party tomorrow got moved up a little bit because I have an appointment right afterwards. Actually, my alarm is about to go off in a minute because I have an appointment as well. Let's see. Just opening the window. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's see what's coming up. So the next thing, okay, so tomorrow I'll be doing the watch party a little bit earlier than normal. I'm so sorry for anybody who were making plans and had, you know, it will be 2 hours earlier than normal. So, if you're on the East Coast, it'll be what, 3 o'clock. That's really crazy early. And, for me and, Central, it's about 4 p.m. It's really, something I had to do. There's also, I have a couple of, live streams that I promised that I would do, and so that is also, something that's happening. Let's see. So tomorrow will be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory 1971 version. I can't wait for that because I do love that movie so very much. I'm gonna make sure that I don't start singing because YouTube doesn't like you singing iconic songs, but it's so wonderful. So I can't wait to watch that with you guys. Also, let's see. Of course, next Wednesday we'll be reviewing Ahsoka, the next episode 4. Then on Wednesday, and I'll be on Wednesday. I will be on El Necron's channel. We are going to be doing um, a small tribute to Mikey Sutton, since we used to do the Pandora's Box show with him, and I am not sure exactly. Um, I think we're gonna try to continue the show in honor of Mikey, but we're gonna take it one step at a time, see what feels right. So there's that, and um, next week, next Friday, 3 p.m. Oh, well, it'll be 3 p.m. my time. You'll have to see what time it will be for you. But we're gonna do the part 3 of this robot exploration that we're doing. I mean, I learned about so many movies that I need to check out and watch. That will be very interesting to me. Um, and I think what we're going to be going from 2002 to 2023, the current day, and we'll see how many movies in that grouping that we know or recognize. So that will be fantastic. I can't wait because there's a lot of titles in there. I was like, oh, this one was juicy. Really good ones. And it surprised me too. Then next Saturday we'll be watching Logan's Run, guys. Oh, one of the most incredible science fiction movies that's in our history. It's really fantastic. So I'm glad that I'll be doing the watch party for that, and we'll see what happens there. That's going to be a lot of fun for me, and I hope it'll be a lot of fun for you. And I am actually going to maybe tomorrow, I'm going to be asking you guys about some more movies that you think would be great to watch that we haven't watched yet. There's so many. So I will ask you of you tomorrow if you are in the replay of this video, or if you've got things you're doing tomorrow. Just leave it in the comments, and I will definitely look through that and see, you know, if I have any of them in my collection, and we can, and we can match up. So that looks like that's it for today. It's gonna be so great. And uh, William Blake Hall says Logan's Run is also hard to get clips for. YouTube keeps pushing the TV show. Ooh, yes. And Simply Steve says, "Yep, the titles are different anyway. Willy Wonka versus Charlie and the Chocolate Factory." Uh, and Okay, so I'm gonna add. Some people are leaving, so I will be Simply Steve. Are you gone? Yes, looks like Simply Steve is on his way out. So I will add this to the ending. Um, and let's see. All right, so I have a 2-minute, sorry, 3-minute video that you can leave any last comments for any of the friends that you have in the chat that you want to say goodbye to, any friends that you made today, and anything that you want to leave for me. So do leave your last comments. I will try to highlight them in the video as we close out. And without further ado, I bid you adieu, my friends. So wonderful to share this time with you. Take care.
Retro Nerd Girl, you are clear for takeoff.